Cycle Solutions is your one-stop shop for upgrades and service. Cycle Solutions, Fort Myers, and CycleSolutions.com. Taking your bike from the street to the strip.
This is Chris Waddell from Cycle Solutions. It's been a minute since I've done a video on Thundermax setup. I thought I'd go ahead and do a new one since a lot of things have changed. So you can step over here and we'll talk about some things. Now, this is your basic Thundermax software. This is advanced software here. So the end user software, which is what's free to the majority of people, customer base, is a little different than this, but it works the same. So say you're gonna put a Thundermax on a bike that's not pre-mapped. What you're gonna do is you're gonna plug into the Thundermax, you're gonna turn the ignition on. I suggest that you have a battery tender hooked up. So you'll go up into the Thundermax map file here, and in this case we're going to choose Throttle By Wire because I have a Throttle By Wire Thundermax. There's a button down here, it's going to say show all maps. So this is the directory of maps that Thundermax puts out, and it's constantly being updated. So just for sake of argument, we're going to do a 103 motor. So we're going to right click on the 103. It's going to show all the 103 engine types and eliminate all the others. Now, the next most important thing, I suppose, in this case is going to be what kind of cam you're using in the throttle body. So you notice here, this is a 46mm throttle body. They call it a stock throttle body. This is the injector size, okay? So there's a difference in the injector size. But in this case, we've got all these 103 maps. I'm going to roll over here, skip the exhaust, skip everything, then we're going to see some cams. So, for instance, say we're doing, we've just done a 527 cam chest, or something close to that. There's a 525, a 527, they're pretty similar, okay? I want to right click. So now we have 4 choices specific to a 527 cam. So we can kind of scoot back over, and you're going to see you got some exhaust choices, curve duals, the S&S power duals, Reinhardt step true dual, a D&D 2 and a 1. You got some differences in throttle bodies. Now, we roll back over here, and you can see, let's say we do have a stock throttle body and we have a D&D 2 and a 1. Well, we'll right click on the D&D 2 and a 1, and it's going to leave just this map. So we're going to want to put this map into this Thundermax. So we're going to double click it. It's going to bring up base name and coding. In this case, you're just going to say load map. Now that map is up in here. You're going to close this map. We're going to go up to the top left and say file, and then we're going to write that map. Now this is going to ask me for some information like the VIN number. You'll need to put the proper VIN number in. This next thing is it can store a bunch of different maps. In this case, we're not storing any maps but this one, so we're just going to hit OK to running position. It's going to ask if it's got decompression files. Well, if you have a 103, stock 103 from Harley that was made from 2010 or newer, it's going to have ACRs in it, so you just press yes. If you mistakenly say yes and you don't have them, you're going to have an instant error code. Since there's no VIN number in here to identify whether this motorcycle is water-cooled or air-cooled, it's going to give you a check. Well, let's just say we're dealing with a 2014 water-cooled Ultra Limited with a 527 cam. So we're going to go say, yeah, it's liquid-cooled. Hit OK. So it's going to start transferring some data. It may or may not, in this case, ask me for a correction on the VIN number because there is no VIN number in this Thundermax right now. We're not actually hooked up to a motorcycle. We have a power-up device, much like we use at our desk when someone calls and orders a Thundermax to be pre-programmed and sent. That particular feature is important. We can pre-program a Thundermax specific to a parts combination and send it to you. Now those maps that we use are not found under EFI maps. Those are under our personal database of maps that we built. And because of our traveling, all the shows that we do, and all the combinations of parts that we see, whenever I have a unique combination of parts, I will save it by parts. Okay? So this map is now in here. So that map is now in that Thundermax and it's ready to go. So we can go ahead and go live and monitor. All our screens just lit up. It's ready to start. I can go into module configuration under basic settings. I'll make sure the rev limit is appropriate. In this case, it's stock head, stock. You know, a nice cam. There's no reason to go above 6,200 RPM. There's a bunch of presets up like accelerator, fuel, the speedometer calibration. That's important. Because say you have a 2009 bike. Well, that's the wrong calibration. It would be 43000 right here for an 09. And there's lots of other combinations like trikes and whatnot. But in this case, 44750 is the correct number for our 14 Ultra Limited. Idle RPM can be adjusted. I prefer 944. That helps with the stock oil pumps, keeps things going. Another little trick, if you have a bike that's hard to start or likes to kick back, has a rotten compensator, that number 100, we'll back it down to 80. What's that doing? What that's doing is it's closing the electronic control mechanism in the throttle body, so kind of altering the choke, if you will. It'll help it start. Less air is getting in, lowers the compression, starts easier. The decel fuel cut, that's an important one. Some bikes like to pop on deceleration. So 0 is off, so we can go in here and we can go 1 and enter, okay? That'll turn it on. Some duals do not like 1. They pop like crazy with 1 or the decel fuel cut turned on. 0 would be turned off. In most cases, like a DND 2-in-1, number 1 should be on. It's much quieter on deceleration. You can play with that to your heart's content. I'll go ahead and close this out. This map is now in there. If the bike was here, we could start it and we could run it. Something else to note, under diagnostic codes, I'm going to have a ton of them. As you can see, current codes, lots of them, historic, current, and the counter, okay? You got lots of pages. For example, let's just pick one. People who have a problem with the throttle body, all of a sudden they have a dead throttle, things won't go. You're going to find throttle position sensor correlation errors or throttle actuation control, tach control. There'll be problems there. Like right now, this bike's got all sorts of problems because it's literally not hooked up to a bike. In a case such as this, we find a problem, we read it, we fix the problem, we can go in with the Thundermax and hit clear, and boom, it's going to clear it. But they're going to come right back again because it's not hooked up to a bike. It's scanning and looking for problems. So we got that. Under module service data, this is the tattletale on a Thundermax. It records every second this motorcycle runs from the point it's put on there till the day it's taken off. So it's retrieving the warranty data. It'll literally tell you how many times you've hit the rev limiter. I have a customer that's over 11,000 times, literally. His bike's been started some 10,000 times. About every time he starts a bike, he hits a rev limiter. Here's your VIN number. I could edit it. This thing will tell you how high the temperatures are on. There's no information here because this is a brand new unit that's never been run. It tells you how long you ride at certain RPMs, etc., etc. It records it all, so you can really get a real good knowledge base on a customer with their bike and what they do. So if you have a problem and you think it's their fault, not yours, it'll be in there. Now, in the case such as this with Cycle Solutions and CycleSolutions.com, we sell a ton of Thundermaxes, and we do them because of this. Say I want to load a map. I will say File, Open. Somebody will call me, or they'll call Jake, or they'll call Josh, or they'll call Taylor, or any one of us that can help them. Say, hey, last year I bought a DND 2-in-1 from you, a package, had a breather and a Thundermax, and now I want to do a throttle body and a cam. Awesome. So, say we need to get them a map for that combo. So let's just throw a number right here. How about we're looking at a Milwaukee 8 with a 117. So here's my number, 117. Space. Anything in that search history of a file saved, there's 117s, okay? Let's say we used a T-Man 216, so I just go 216. Boom, it's narrowing it down. And say we're using a 62mm throttle body. Okay? So now we've squashed it. So here's a 2018 CVO 117 FLH, it's water cooled. The T-Man 216 cam with HPI 62mm throttle body with slimline duals. That map is dead on. Here's a Beggar Nation Colt 45 exhaust with a T-Man 216 cam. I mean, the list is endless, so if we've seen it, we've saved it. This is one I would have used on my own personal bike here. So let's go ahead and open that up. Bang. Now we're looking at that. The other map is still in the Thundermax because I haven't sent this. But we can go in here and we can look at all of the fuel curves Everything's set and it is ready to go for that specific exact combination. I could literally load that into a Thundermax or email that video to you, and when we sell you the package, it is spot on out of the gate. The guys with dynos hate to hear that, but that's the truth. That doesn't mean that you can't come see us at a show and we can't go through and hand tune that bike to make it absolutely perfect, because there is individual variances between the bikes. But I can tell you one thing, our packages rock. We have countless hours and hours on building these maps to make them perfect, and we save what's perfect. So make sure you tune in for our other videos. You can like us on Facebook and check us out at cyclesolutions.com. Thank you. If you want to be notified when new videos from Cycle Solutions are released, hit the like and subscribe button to follow us.